mechanical engineering major at Creo. And this is kind of my, this is kind of my take on the Guatemala experience. I kind of focused more on the project I had the opportunity to work on, which was the soccer field. And since everyone else covered most of everything else, that worked out good. The first day we got there, we get to this homestay, and there was three rooms. We're all set up in 3 rooms. There's 7 guys in 1 room with 1 shower. Yeah. Shower line was long. This is behind that plant is basically the entrance. So I think a lot of the houses in Antigua are set up like this. There's a courtyard in the center, and then there's basically rooms around the courtyard. I believe it's for extended family, or I'm not entirely sure. Next day we went up to Volta Grande. We see this amazing view from the school. The school is almost the highest point in the village. It's kind of around the corner from the highest point. So we did a lot of hill climbing. I gotta say we were definitely fit by the end of the trip. And of course the project. On the left, we see how bad the erosion actually was. This picture was sent to us by Brian, the Dream Volunteer Coordinator. Before we even learned about the project, this is how we learned about this project. So you just they have this soccer field and they want you to fix it. Okay, that's very helpful. So when we get down there, we see that there's these huge ravines. They had attempted to fix it with sandbags and kind of dumped some dirt on top of it. It was just still washing away. This picture was in Jim's picture. That gives some perspective. That's a pretty deep washout. So we had to come up with a plan. And to figure out why that water was eroding only that corner, and how we can not only fix it, but prevent it from happening in the future. So, of course, there's surveying involved. We had to figure out the topography of the soccer field, figure out why all the water from the soccer field was washing into that corner. So, here I am pointing at a stick. And there's Jackie looking through an eyepiece. Kelly gave us a 10-minute crash course on surveying. It's pretty cool. And of course we have our note takers. They did all the number crunching. We kind of just walked around and held sticks. That was fun. So what we found out after doing some surveying and killing Javen's hard number crunching was that this corner, which is eroding, by the way, this is a picture of the finished soccer field. But anyway, this corner, which is eroding, was actually 2 feet lower than the other corner. So all the water from the soccer field was basically directed into that corner. There's your problem. Later on, we found out that the path in the background comes down the mountainside. Thank you. That one. Comes down the mountainside. And all the water from the mountainside was channeled into that path and would come right down into this corner and wash into that ditch, basically. So there's another problem. We decided to get a tractor, start digging away. This is about 12 hours into it. I'm sure the villagers were like, oh my god, what are they doing to this thing? But in the end, it worked out. Here's a little perspective of how much we had to build up that corner. So not only we had to fill the ravine that was already there to rebuild the corner cake, right? The corner of the soccer field. Then we had to add almost 1.5 feet of dirt on top of it, which meant we had to dig from the high corner and move all that dirt to the low corner, as well as compact it and make sure it's not going to wash away the next time. We ended up building a berm around the soccer field. This is pretty much our finished project. There's a berm in the background here. This is pretty much where the corner is. Built the berm most of the way to about there. The only problem was it was dry season. So driving a tractor back and forth, there was a lot of dust on that soccer field. And I was thinking, well, we should just water it down. But then it's the dry season and their spring is already kind of almost running out, so we couldn't afford to put any water on there. We had to leave it as basically a giant dust bowl. I kind of felt bad with that, but that was pretty sweet. That is the picture I was showing you earlier. As you can kind of tell from the picture, we sloped the entire soccer field that way and this way into a kind of a natural spillway that we cut out on this side, so that none of the water, theoretically, none of the water off the soccer field should go into that problem corner. Hopefully. Because if it does, it's probably going to wash away. And here's perspective just from what we started with and what we ended with. It's cool to see the whole project come together, and on the last day, it was an optional work day. We chose to go out there and finish it off. It was very rewarding to see it come together.